with class, fantastic demeanor, and a wine glass filled to the brim. What you're going to hear is the finest in urban conservative talk. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the brand new Willie Lawson Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. Well, good morning. Good morning. Black folk, we've been trying to tell y'all for years that the people that you've been following, the people that you've been trusting, are not people you can trust, are not people who have your best interest at heart, who have our best interest at heart. And behind all this stuff you're seeing with the election of Donald Trump, if this doesn't show you, if this isn't the clearest depiction that all of the left's mantra, all of the left's ranting and raving, all of the left's crap doesn't have anything to do with you. Now, if you squeeze something long enough, whatever's in it will come out. Think about this. If you squeeze anything long enough, whatever is in it will come out. You squeeze an orange long enough, orange juice will come out. If you squeeze a pumpkin long enough, all that pumpkin pulp will come out. You squeeze the left enough, all the stuff that's in them will come out. And right now, they are feeling squeezed. They are feeling pressured. I've said on this show before, what's really happening here is that they are losing their grip. And they know it. And they know it. What they know is that they're losing their grip. 13% of black males voted for Donald Trump. So they have pulled out everything they know, which is what they do. They pull out everything they know. They call them racist. They call them a racist so you'll be mad. They call him a Nazi so the Jews and the white people will be mad. They call him a white supremacist so the white folks are mad. They've called him every name in the book. They've tried to paint him every color in the rainbow. In the very same way they tried to make George Bush a moron and an evil genius. They're trying to make Donald Trump a moron and an evil genius. You can't be a moron and an evil genius. Even Pinky and the Brain were two mice.
Gee, Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
They're Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. They're laboratory mice. Their genes have been spliced. They're Pinky and the Brain. Brain, 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 brain.
They're going to try to convince you that Steve Bannon is Pinky, is the Brain, and Donald Trump is Pinky or Orangey. They're going to try to convince you that that's the reality. Not that they are not willing to accept that what Donald Trump is doing, what he's doing with Obamacare, what he's doing with immigration, is exactly why he got elected. They're trying to push this narrative somehow that this is all some sort of great Pinky and the Brain sort of scheme to take over the world for white men. Because that is their narrative. Now, you notice what they're not saying. Remember I said this a minute ago, if you squeeze something long enough, whatever is inside will come out. Remember when I said that to you? So they're being squeezed, and what's coming out? Is it the love and the acceptance that the left always talks about that they have? Is that what's coming out? Is that what you're seeing? Is that what you're seeing? No, you're seeing the hate, the fear-mongering. You're hearing all the worst things about not just Trump, but if you happen to support Trump, if you happen to have voted for Trump, how many videos do you have to see of people who they thought voted for Trump? People drug out of their cars in Chicago, have their vehicles stolen, and are beat down. It is ridiculous. It is outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous. I mean, it really is. It's embarrassing, actually. But again, remember this, because this is very, very important. This is an important principle that you get from this show today. This is an important Tuesday. This is a very important Tuesday. The important Tuesday is, the message, this important Tuesday is, whatever you squeeze, whatever comes out, it's what's in it. You can't squeeze an apple and get cherry juice. It's not in it. The Bible says this. The Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when you hear rants from Ashley Judd, when you hear rants from Madonna, when you hear lies from Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and some of the rest of these people, this is what's in them. That level of hate, that level of bitterness, masquerading as passion, that's what's in them. That's what's in them. When Madonna, when apparently she is squeezed so hard that she says out loud, "I actually thought about blowing up the White House." That's who these people are. When people say, you know what, when Rachel Maddow gets on Twitter and goes, somebody needs to take Trump out. That's who these damn people are. You know what? It's nice to say, you know what? We just disagree on policy, blah, 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 blah. You know what? And these are nice people. These are good people. They all want the same. Pardon me. No, they don't. No, they don't. And they are proving every day that they don't. Which is kind of okay, really, because what's really happening is that we're starting to see who these people really are, and more importantly, what they are. And they don't have a heart for you, black man. They don't have a heart for you, black woman, or your black children, or anybody in urban America. They don't. Because in order to do that, they would have to, first of all, have a heart for God, and obviously they do not. Because they don't know the truth, and the truth is not in them. Or they wouldn't be lying to you and everybody else about this so-called Muslim ban. And we're going to talk about that when we get back. Thanks for coming to the Will Austin Show here on TECN, SHR Media, and the High Plains Talk Radio Network. Innovation, inspiration, and imagination. 3 important characteristics that are important in any business, but especially in real estate when you're looking for your forever home. And when that home is a new home, there are very, very many things that must go right. The financing must be on point. The furnishings must be on point. the location and neighborhood must be on point. And if you need someone to get that right the first time, you have to go to my friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay. That's New Homes of Tampa Bay. You can reach him on the web at www.newhomestpa.com. If you're looking for innovation through technology, inspiration and imagination through hard work, www.newhomestpa.com. There's no reason to wait for a special occasion to send flowers. No reason to wait until you miss a birthday or an anniversary or Valentine's Day to send flowers. All you have to do is get a hold of my friend Christine at Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. That's www.bloomingdays.com. And tell her that you want to send the very best, that you care enough to send the very best. One of FTD's top florists in all of the United States, always in the top 100 of flower shops in the United States. That's Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. Forget calling 1-800-something, www.bloomingdays.com. It's great to have partners, but it's even better when one of your partners is one of the finest urban conservatives in America. That's my friend Kevin Batts. Kevin Batts of Red River Chronicle TV. Red River Chronicle TV is taking the internet by storm. With fabulous production, amazing commentary, and incredible insight, Red River TV is the thing that we'll all be watching in 2017. They are the people, Kevin and his wife Janelle, are the voices that are going to make the difference in urban America in 2017. So get in on the ground floor. Go to www.redriverchronicle.com and subscribe to Red River TV today. You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservative.com. All right, welcome back. I'd like to thank my guest yesterday, John Daly. If you haven't heard that show, go back in the archives, listen to that show. John Daly was off the chain. Just some really thoughtful and thought-provoking approaches and thoughts about social media, what was next, how it was used, and about media in general. A great view on what media bias is. I think that probably the most adult, frankly, view of media bias that I have heard in a while, in a long while. I mean, now, other than, of course, my own. But you know what? I think it was an extremely adult take, a very much adult take on what media bias really is and what we should do about it, about how we all have to become journalists of sorts. Just the way, I said at the beginning of the Tea Party movement that we're going to have to be involved in our government a lot more. A lot more than we had done in the past, than we had ever thought. And I think now, because, yes, like John said yesterday, there is definite media bias, and that's just how it is. And we just have to get over it. That we're going to have to start looking at sources ourselves. And we're going to talk about that this week. How maybe that we can set up, that you can set up, I can help you set up your own news bureau. I'll do it first, probably today or tomorrow. How I'm going to set up my own news bureau that everybody can have access to get what's really going on. Credible sources that I've vetted over time. And now you can sort of get an informed view of what's happening other than an inflamed view. I mean, we cannot get our news from Facebook memes, okay? That is not how we do it. So we'll do that this week too. So again, thanks John Daly for coming on, and John promised that he'd be back. And as this whole crazy cuckoo thing that Trump is doing continues to go on, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having him back and talking to him again. And you can also go to his YouTube project called Undercover Jet Setters. It's about travel and food and wine and golf. I watched a couple of shows that they actually did completely on their iPhone, and it's very good. It's very entertaining. It's very informative. They travel the world. He and his co-host is very cool. Any case, I got to talk about, we got to talk about the left. We have to talk about the left and what they're up to. And how, frankly, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Which is really, frankly, par for the course. Now, when I mentioned a couple of days ago, last week, during the march, the so-called women march, where everybody's wearing their pussy hats. Remember that? And they're marching for transgender, and they're marching for fat women. They're marching for everything. And you know what? And they throw in they're marching for people of color. They're marching for people of color, except for the 13% of males, black males, that voted for Donald Trump, or any supporters of Donald Trump, or any supporters of who are pro-life. So think about this: anybody who thought or who thinks like I do that we've got to stop the black genocide going on in our nation, with thousands of black babies aborted every week in this country. Thousands of black children aborted every week in this country. That we've got to bring a stop to that. No, they weren't invited to the Women's March. Why? Because they don't give a damn about black people or brown people. They don't. All their arguments don't have anything to do with us. And that's and that's where the rubber meets the road, really. All these arguments, all their gnashing of teeth and blah, 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 don't have anything to do with you and where you live. Most of these people are going to do what? They're going to go and hold up progress at the airport. And then what are they going to do? They're going to go back to the suburbs of their house. They're going to get back in their Subarus and head back to their house. That's what they're going to do. Nothing to do with you. Don't think that they're your friends. Don't think for a second they are your friends. Don't think for a second they give two craps about you. Don't think for a second that they do. Because they don't. And, frankly, they never have. Frankly, they never have. They have never, ever cared about you. They've used us. Frankly, they've used the crap out of us. They use us for votes. They use us for worker bees. They use the crap out of you. They use you for photo ops. I was talking to my friend Stanley Gloucester here in Tampa, and it's so funny that that the left still thinks that all black people want is a picture next to the slave keeper. All we want to do is be in the picture. All we want to do is be standing next to our oppressor in the picture, while it looks like they are not really our oppressor, when the fact of the matter is that they truly are. They are most certainly our oppressor. And frankly, have always been our oppressor. Have always been our oppressor. When you squeeze something, whatever's in it will come out. When you squeeze something. I don't know how more clearly to say that. You know what? I woke up just a few minutes ago and God gave me that to say to you. Because that's how you tell. When somebody's under pressure, when somebody is going through the trials and tribulations of life, however they behave, the things that they say, whenever they're stressed, the things that they say, that's what's in them. It works with people. It works with organizations. So you've got Starbucks. Now, believe it or not, I have not had my first cup of coffee yet. But I'll tell you what, when I get up from this desk after this program, I will enjoy a delicious cup of coffee, Folgers, from my red coffee pot, from my Republican red coffee pot, which I will take a picture of and put on Instagram, my Republican red coffee pot. From my home. When Starbucks says this, you know what we're going to do? Because we want to be down with all of this leftist nonsense, because that's who we are. We pledge to hire 10,000 refugees worldwide. 10,000. And even before Milo Yiannopoulos mentioned that this was ridiculous with the level of black unemployment in America, I thought the same thing. I said, you know what? You've got double-digit unemployment in black youth all over this country. However, they come out with this big, huge, valiant statement that they're going to hire 10,000 refugees. Well, frankly, Starbucks, to hell with you. That's what you're going to do? So the crisis in urban America has been going on right here. In places like Portland, in places like Seattle, where you're from. Homeless vets, poverty, violence. All through the West Coast, Los Angeles, Chicago, Ferguson, East St. Louis, New York, Miami, all over the country. And what you're going to do, you're going to stand up and go, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to we're pledged to hire 10,000 refugees. That's your contribution. Not that we're going to hire one deserving black youth in every one of our stores, in every one of our major cities. Not that we're going to start reading programs in urban elementary schools. Not that we're going to use our resources to help people right here. See, black people, listen. This is evidence that these people don't give a damn about you. Now, I'm not a big boycott person because boycotts don't last. People, they lose their intensity. They're too hard to keep pushing. But I'll tell you one thing. When Target got stupid about transgender bathrooms, when they could have just been smart, and not created any turbulence, but they felt they had to make a statement, I've not stepped foot in one since. There were alternatives, so I used the alternatives. That's the deal. There were alternatives. It was easy. I just did something else. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my kitchen and use my Republican red coffee pot and make myself a delicious pot of Folgers coffee. That's what I'm going to do. And if I'm out, I'll probably stop by the Dunkin' Donuts and have a delicious cup of coffee there. Or I'll go somewhere local like Buddy Brew or the Foundation. There are any number of locally owned coffee shops that brew their own coffee that's amazing, that are not Starbucks. I'll use my options. They can make their choice, and I'll make mine too. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to, or even that you should, but you have to understand, we have to start supporting people. Black people, we have to start supporting people who are not against us. Now, I don't know if we can support a whole bunch of people who are helping us, because there may not be a whole bunch of people who are helping us, but we definitely have to stop helping people who are not supporting us, who had the opportunity and the resources to do something noble and looked right past you to somebody else. Looked right past you to somebody else. Because once they get squeezed, they show who they are. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Target did it. We knew all the time. We knew all along. But then they said it. Starbucks did it. We really knew all along. But then they were under pressure, and then it happened. So now that I know for sure, now it's not just conjecture. I know for sure. Now I've got to. Now it's up to me to say, you know what? Who am I going to support? Am I going to support the great folks at Buddy Brew here in Tampa? Well, yeah. The answer to that question is yes. And I found, and if I could go back a little bit, why I'm mentioning this particular shop, because when I was introduced to Buddy Brew, there was a Republican county commissioner who used to have weekly meetings there on Friday morning. The owners of Buddy Brew got Mitt Romney when he was running for president back in 2012, I guess, 2008 or whatever. I don't remember when it was. I know it was 2012. To come by and meet with people, and I have pictures of that. And at the same time, they make a great coffee. They've integrated into their community beautifully. They do work all over the community. And when they got squeezed about having Mitt Romney there, they stood up. It's great. So I feel perfectly comfortable supporting people like Buddy Brew. And if you're in Tampa, there's a Buddy Brew in the airport, make sure you stop by. I mean, no trip to Tampa is complete without a stop to Buddy Brew, whether in Hyde Park, whether on Kennedy Boulevard, whether in the airport, whether at Oxford Exchange downtown. No trip to Tampa is complete without a trip to Buddy Brew. I know that sounds like a commercial, but you know what? There are options. in every community, everywhere you are right now, listening to me now, whether you're in Washington, D.C., we've got lots of listeners in Washington, D.C., whether you're in California, we've got lots of listeners in California, especially Southern California, lots of listeners in Illinois, in the Chicagoland area, we've got lots of listeners in Chicago, and of course here in Florida. But those are the 4 states or 4 places, and New York, those are the 5 places where we have the most listeners for this program. So I know that you have options. Don't tell me you don't have any options. Don't tell me that Starbucks is just the most convenient thing. On top of that, you got 7-Elevens, and the coffee is pretty doggone good if you catch it right at 7-Eleven. The same company that stopped selling adult magazines years ago. Some of y'all don't remember that. Where you could get a Playboy at the 7-Eleven. The Southland Corporation said, you know what? It's not the best idea. It's not good for families. We'll stop that. Were they squeezed for money at that point? Yes. The CVS stores, under huge pressure, it just didn't make any sense for them to keep selling cigarettes. They had a pharmacy in the back where cancer patients would walk by the cigarettes up, in the front of the store to get some of their cancer medication. Do you know how much money they left on the table? Millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. But they decided to do the right thing. Under huge pressure, they decided to do the right thing. They decided that they would come up with an alternative for the EpiPen that people could afford. Yeah, you know what? Now you can do whatever you want, black people, but I'm going to surround myself with people. I'm going to support people who do the right things for the right reasons. You can do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, you can't trust the left. And it isn't because I said so, it's because they've proven it. They continue to prove me right on a daily basis. And I can guarantee you today, they'll prove it again. When their hate for Donald Trump is greater than their love for you or me and my kids and my community. When Trump says he wants to make my community safe, and the left tells me my community is already safe when I know damn well it isn't. Ask people like Nadra Enzi. Ask anybody who lives in Chicago. Like I said, one of the states that one of them, our top states that listen to this program. A lot of you are in Chicago. Tell me how safe the streets are in South Chicago. Tell me how safe it is. So when Donald Trump says he wants to make our community safe again, and somebody has anything negative to say about that particular thing, is willing to call him a Nazi and a white supremacist, tell me how that benefits your community. When Donald Trump says he wants to bring jobs back to your community, now I'm not waving the flag for Donald Trump, but this screaming and yelling and crying and gnashing of teeth exposes who the left is and how little you are important to them. That's what this is all about. That you can't trust them. Why? Because they're not trustworthy. That's what this is all about. My name is Willie Lawson. This is the Willie Lawson Show on the Exceptional Conservative Network, powered by SHR Media and syndicated with our friends at High Plains Talk Radio. Thank you ever so much. We'll be back right after these messages.
From the war front to the streets of our nation's capital, men of faith, Dr. Michael Jones, the underground professor, and Kenneth McClinton, the exceptional conservative, bring both constitutional gravitas and spiritual perspective on today's issues to the most influential Christian urban talk show, 9:05 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays. It's a new day on New Day, Black and Red.
Nothing fits a home perfectly than a brand new grand piano. And if you're looking for a piano for your brand new home, you've got to visit Dave's Piano. And that's davespianoshowroom.com. If you're looking for the perfect thing to set off your new home, a piano is what you're looking for. And my friend Dave has the perfect piano for you. And the best thing about buying a piano from Dave is that he does everything. He delivers, he sets up, he tunes, he takes care of everything. The best part about Dave's Piano, quite frankly, is Dave. So when you buy a piano from Dave's Piano Showroom, you only deal with Dave. You can reach them at www.davespianoshowroom.com. That's davespianoshowroom.com. It's all the rage to call and order flowers from 1-800-whatever or go online and order them from some nameless, faceless person on the other end. I'm saying you should do something different. You should, before doing that, call my friends at Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, located right here in Tampa, Florida, at 11618 North Florida Avenue, 33612. Christine and her staff don't look at just the order. They look at the customer. They look at your occasion. They consider the entire person, the entire occasion, before making decisions about design and price. You're more than just a customer. You're a friend. Call our friends at Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, toll free, at 1-800-330-3297. 1-800-330-3297. Local, 813-971-5947. 813-971-5947. You can reach them on the web at www.bloomingdays.com. You're tired of the cold? You're tired of the taxes? It's time to move to Florida. And our friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay is the perfect person to help you. You can just give Gary a call at 813-770-9452, or you can go to the website to look for your brand new home at www.newhomestpa.com. Move to Florida. It's about time. Information is crucial when you're looking to purchase a new home. With so many choices of communities and options, choosing the right one for you and your family can be a daunting task. That's why you need to go to New Homes of Tampa Bay right now, www.newhomestpa.com, and get the information you need. Learn how people save thousands of dollars when purchasing new homes. Buy like the pros. New Homes Tampa Bay, www.newhomestpa.com. This is a production of Fight Back Media Group. For more information, go to www.fightbackmedia.com. Well, good morning. My name is Willie Lawson, and I'm also the founder of Fight Back Media Group. And what we're here to do is to make sure that the most prominent and important urban conservative voices get a larger platform. And we need your help to do that. So if you're interested in that as the cure for what ails urban America and America at large, go to www.fightbackmedia.com and help us out. Fightbackmedia.com. We appreciate it. All the help you can get. We are already on the road. We're already involved in as many projects as we can be, because we love this country and we love our community. Again, welcome back to The William Lawson Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network, powered by SHR Media and syndicated across the fruited plains by the great folks at High Plains Talk Radio. I really want people to get it. I really want people to understand that all this screaming and yelling that you're seeing on the TV, all that you're seeing on social media, it's all manufactured. All of it is manufactured. Every bit of it is manufactured. Just the way, and by the same people who manufactured Occupy Wall Street, the very same people who occupied the riots in Ferguson and Baltimore, the same people who organized the protests and the riots at the G8 and G20 summits around the world. It's the same group of people. They operate the same way. They operate on pure emotion, and what you do is you wonder why they're there. And if you ask people why they're there, they don't really know why they're there. I mean, when you go and when they get interviewed, they go, "Well, we hate Trump. Well, Trump's a blah 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 blah. Trump's an FF about F Trump blah blah blah." What? Black folks, let's talk about this so-called Muslim ban. We ended the show yesterday talking about this so-called Muslim ban. The reason that you can't trust legacy media anymore, and we have to become our own news aggregator, is because in this particular instance, it's just not bias, it's dishonesty, in my opinion. Complete and total dishonesty. The seven countries that are on the list of travel restrictions, where do you think Donald Trump came up with those countries? It's not Steve Bannon, who's supposed to be the brain, who came up with those. It wasn't Steve Bannon. Not at all. Not at all. You know who it was? It's Barack Hussein Obama and his minions, who decided that those were seven countries that had been involved in state-sponsored terrorism, and maybe we should slow down. And in 2011, it was Barack Hussein Obama, then President Barack Hussein Obama, in 2011, who decided, and correctly so, that we should put a moratorium, a 6-month moratorium, on the Syrian refugee program. Which is twice as long as the 120-day moratorium on that we're talking about from the other countries other than Syria. That particular restriction is indefinite. So, do not be misled, black people. Do not be misled. This is simply more of the left with my guy good, your guy bad. Because this is what they do. Like John Daly said yesterday on this very program, that the media is setting up this combination sports and entertainment model. The sports model is to get a good guy and a bad guy, to get Atlanta and the Patriots, right? Something the country's going to be completely and totally divided by this Sunday. And combine that with film tape of fights and screaming and cursing and throwing stuff and people chained together, airports being shut down. That's the entertainment factor. And there are media outlets that are fanning that flame. Please don't think any of this is real. please don't think any of this is important. Please don't. Because it is not. It simply is not. And moreover, like I keep saying, it doesn't have a single thing to do with you. When they're not, you know what, frankly, when they're not talking about how do I improve my school, how do I improve my schools, when they're more concerned about somebody who doesn't live here, when they're more concerned about people who aren't even supposed to be here than they are about the condition of my schools and my community, when they're more concerned about the dreamers than me, the children of illegal aliens, when they're out in the streets crying and whining about the dreamers, making sure that they have in-state scholarships and, if not, in-state tuitions, grants, and loans that my kids can't get, while I still have only 4 of 6 of my sons graduating from high schools across America. That's insane. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not. I'm not feeling it. It's just one of those things where I'm just not feeling it. And we should, and you know what, black people, listen carefully. As we listen to the people that we supported and voted for, especially on the left, the Democrats, when Chuck Schumer will get up and shed a fake tear for Syrian refugees, but they're silent on the blood that's been spilled this month. 40 plus people who spilled their blood this month and died this month in Chicago, then guess what? I don't care what they say. They're not interested in my problems. They're not interested in your problems. They're not interested in your community. They're not interested. And that's the deal. They're not. You can't start putting all these things in one dish, and just because they say, just because you make the sign that we're marching for transgendered and gay and lesbian and bisexual and people of color and fat people and disabled people, just because you made the sign doesn't mean they give a crap about you. This is only going to work out. We're only going to take part or partake in the American dream if indeed we take the American dream, that we use our opportunities to improve our community ourselves, and we stop listening to the hype. Stop listening to the hype. Stop getting caught up emotionally. Start thinking logically and rationally. Start bottom lining in our elections. Stop putting all of our eggs and all our political capita and all our heart, emotion, and money into one basket. So we're being taken for granted again and again, year after year after year after year, decade after decade, by the people who championed our very trap. We got to wake up. Like the kids say, we got to wake up. We got to get smart. And this is our opportunity to get smart. And because you're listening to this program, you're already smarter than you were an hour ago. Congratulations. We'll be right back. Innovation, inspiration, and imagination. 3 important characteristics that are important in any business, but especially in real estate when you're looking for your forever home. And when that home is a new home, there are very, very many things that must go right. The financing must be on point. The furnishings must be on point. The location and neighborhood must be on point. And if you need someone to get that right the first time, you have to go to my friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay. That's New Homes of Tampa Bay. You can reach him on the web at www.newhomestpa.com. If you're looking for innovation through technology, inspiration and imagination through hard work, www.newhomestpa.com. There's no reason to wait for a special occasion to send flowers. No reason to wait until you miss a birthday or an anniversary or Valentine's Day to send flowers. All you have to do is get a hold of my friend Christine at Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. That's www.bloomingdays.com. And tell her that you want to send the very best, that you care enough to send the very best. One of FTD's top florists in all of the United States, always in the top 100 of flower shops in the United States. That's Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. Forget calling 1-800-something, www.bloomingdays.com. It's great to have partners, but it's even better when one of your partners is one of the finest urban conservatives in America. That's my friend Kevin Batts. Kevin Batts of Red River Chronicle TV. Red River Chronicle TV is taking the internet by storm. With fabulous production, amazing commentary, and incredible insight, Red River TV is the thing that we'll all be watching in 2017. They are the people, Kevin and his wife Janelle, are the voices that are going to make the difference in urban America in 2017. So get in on the ground floor. Go to www.redriverchronicle.com and subscribe to Red River TV today. All right. Again, welcome back to the Will Austin Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network, powered by SHR Media and syndicated by our friends out at High Plains Talk Radio. Listen, especially to our High Plains Talk Radio listeners, we're just spending our first week with you. If you like what we're doing, I'd love to hear from you. So email me at WLSTECN@gmail.com. That's WLSTECN@gmail.com. Or stop by my website at fightbackmedia.com. That's fightbackmedia.com. And right there you can pop in your email address and stay up to date with what we're doing. And that way we can build relationships. I mean, as we're starting to look at how this is playing out, how the next 4 years or even 8 years may play out, it is more important, I think, than ever to make sure that we are united, that we are connected, that we are working together, whether we're working together out in front of everybody or we're working together behind the scenes, that we are pushing a pro-America agenda. Now, a pro-America agenda is the same as a pro-urban America agenda. It is important that we find each other around the country. It is important that we are not divided and set apart. And the people in New York don't know about the people in Illinois, or the people in Illinois don't know about the people in Florida. People in Florida don't know about the people in Louisiana or California. That we are connected and united. And frankly, if indeed Fight Back Media is that conduit, that's perfect. Till we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself.